Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the flying stars and the guidelines we need to use for important areas of your home, like the main door, the bedroom, the kitchen, and your home office. Because a lot of times I get asked, well, where would be the best place to put these areas in based on my natal chart, yeah, based on my flying stars natal chart. And it's always the same sort of question. So I'm just going to give you the guidelines. They're very, very easy to remember. And so if you can align your home more or less according to these guidelines, then you've basically already won half the battle. And don't worry if you can only align one or two areas according to these guidelines. That's already okay. Most people don't have the perfect home. I don't have the perfect home because, we're just limited by the space itself, irregular floor plans, and inbuilt furniture and all of these kind of things. So it's very rare unless you can actually build your home from the ground up all by yourself to achieve the perfect balance. Yeah, so do not panic if the guidelines I'm giving here do not perfectly match what is present in your home. The fact that you're still alive obviously tells us that things are going okay, right? So it's not as bad as you may think it is. Now, I do assume that you have the Flying Stars natal chart of your home. So this is must have to be able to follow these guidelines. If not, there's plenty of plotters online that you can just find. But you must have the natal chart of your home in order to follow these guidelines. So this may be a little bit advanced. So if you don't have this, there are various plotters online. Now, the flying stars, the guidelines, especially now we're talking about period 9, of course, because we are in period 9. So for the time period of 2024 all the way until 2043, we are in period 9. And so therefore the main stars we focus on are star number 9, star number 1, and star number 2, right? So those are the three most prosperous stars in period 9. Now, we also work with the number 4 because 4 and 9 is a He-Tu combination for those advanced students here. And we can also still use the number 8 because 8 and 2 form a Luo-Shu combination of 10. So we can work with those. Now, for the bedroom, the guidelines are very, very simple. So first of all, the bedroom is a room of rest and inactivity. Therefore, it is a yin, it's considered a yin room. So we are focusing on the sitting stars. Now, the sitting stars are always the ones that are in the upper left of your natal chart. So let me just show you. So this is a sitting star, yeah, in each palace. On the upper left, you have the sitting stars. Yeah, these are the sitting stars. Upper left, sitting stars. Now, ideally, we want the bedroom in an area where you have a timely sitting star. Yeah, so we want the number 9 or the number 1. So in this case, it would be great to have the bedroom here or here. We don't worry about the facing stars in a bedroom. Yeah, we don't worry about these facing stars, the ones on the upper right. Don't worry about those. Yeah, we're only focusing on the sitting stars. And for a bedroom, ideally, we would like to have the 9 or the 1 in period 9. Now, other acceptable stars, sitting stars, are the number 8 and also the number 6. Now, it's rare that you have the bedroom, like in this example, in the center of the home, but it is possible. So 8 and 6 are also acceptable. You can also use a 4. This is okay for relationships. But what you want to avoid is the sitting star 5 or sitting star 2. Yeah, so what you definitely don't want are the sitting star 5 or the sitting star 2. Those you don't want for a bedroom. Yeah, so try to avoid having your bedroom there. Now, if your bedroom is located in a sitting star 2 or 5, that's when you want someone like me to help you out with how you can actually remedy this. Yeah, this is complex. I'm not going to get into what you need to do. Now we're just looking at the guidelines that you need to follow in order to determine the ideal location for your bedroom. Now, moving on to the study or the home office or uh, whichever area you work in, if you work from home, right? It could also apply to the area where your kids do their homework. Now, a study or a home office or a workroom is considered active, and so therefore it's a yang room, which means we are focusing on the facing star, yeah? This time we're not concerned with the sitting stars, and the facing stars are the ones that are on the upper right. Yeah, all of those are facing stars. So you need to determine on your natal chart the most timely facing stars. So ideally, you want to see the 9, the 2, the 1. You can also use the 8, although that is, it's not great for work necessarily unless you're an employee. And obviously, you can also use the 4. Yeah, so ideally, 9, 1, and 2. Especially if you're a business owner, use the number 2. If none of these are possible, you can use the 4 or the 8. The 8 is for employees, better for employees or self-employed people or people who work on a contract basis. Yeah, so these are the facing stars you want to look out for to position, to place your home office in. We're not talking about facing directions or anything like this, right? This is the location. This is where you want to locate your desk or your home office in. Now, next one, we have the kitchen. And in the kitchen, we focus on the stove. So sometimes it happens that the kitchen crosses into 2 sectors, yeah, or is overlapping into 2 sectors. You focus on the sector where the stove is located, yeah? Everything else is not relevant. Yeah, we don't care about the rice cooker, the coffee machine, the microwave, the oven. You focus on the stove. And if you don't cook at home, if you never cook at home, or maybe you just cook once a week, then you can ignore that completely. This is only if you cook at home on a daily basis or at least 4 to 5 times a week. Otherwise, forget about this completely. Then it's not important. So we want to see a timely facing star for the stove. Yeah, the stove is considered a yang area, so we're looking for a timely facing star. So similar to the study, we want to see a number 9 or a number 1. Yeah, that is fine. We try to avoid the number 2 because one of the side effects of the number 2 could be some illness. So we try to avoid this. But number 9 and number 1 are great facing stars for a stove. Now, let's say you cannot make it so that the stove is located in a timely facing star sector. Then check whether you can position it in a timely sitting star. That's still okay. Yeah, that's also fine. 9 and 1. Yeah, focus on 9 and 1 in period 9. So 9 and 1 facing star would be great. If that's not possible, try 9 and 1 sitting star. Now, if that is not possible, you can also work with the 3 and the 4, both facing and sitting stars. So facing star 4, and where do we have the 3? Facing star 3, or the sitting star 4, or the sitting star 3. Now, why is that? That's because the 3 and the 4 for the advanced students here are wood stars. And the stove is considered a fire element. So wood produces fire. So therefore, the 3 and the 4 are also acceptable within the kitchen. And then at the very last resort, if that's still not possible, yeah, you can look for the number 8. But really, first option, number 9 and number 1 facing star. Second options, number 9 and number 1 sitting star. And if that's not possible, 3 and 4 facing or sitting star. Only as a last resort do we look at the number 8. All right. And then lastly, of course, the main door. So the main door, we don't care about the color of the main door, the material of the main door, whether it's a sliding door, a regular door, or whether it's a doorknob or a handle. None of these things are actually important, right? But the main door is a T-mouth of the house, so it's a yang feature. This is where all the energy comes in. So we want to make sure that the main door is located in an area with timely facing stars, right? So timely facing stars would be a number 9, number 1. You can, especially if you're a business owner, number 2 is also okay. And you can use number 4. Number 8, acceptable, but not that great. Yeah, we focus first and foremost on 9 and 1. 2 and 4, and then as a last resort, the number 8. Now, we want to avoid any star, facing or sitting star, that is either the number 5 or the number 3 at the main door. Yeah, no 5, no 5, no 3 at the main door, facing or sitting star. Now, I know the main door is difficult to change. Sometimes it just happens to be in an area that may have those negative stars. Again, don't panic. Fix what you can fix. So then you just work around maybe the bedroom. You make sure that you can arrange the bedroom in such a way that is located in a flying star sector that has a timely stars. You make sure that your workstation is in a timely star sector. And that can balance out the main door somewhat, right? So do not panic. It's very rare that you can align all 4 of these areas perfectly. That's very rare unless you actually plan for it and build the house yourself, for example, or make sure that you look at hundreds of houses before you actually move in to find the perfect one, right? So we all work within the limitations that we have. Even if you can only align one area of your home, just at least do that. Make sure that you're located in with one of these areas in a positive flying star sector. And again, this is about location. This has nothing to do with the facing direction, which way you're sleeping, which way you're looking at when you are working. Yeah, nothing to do with facing direction. This is just a location of these main 4 areas based on your natal chart. All right, so hopefully this helped eliminate some of the confusion. Let me know how this worked for you, whether you can actually make those alignments at home, how many sectors you've been able to manage to change around to actually have them in a positive, timely flying star sector. Let us know how that goes. And if you would like to help you with this and do a Feng Shui consult on your property, especially if you see there's a lot of flying stars violations, for example, be happy to help. Contact me directly. My email address is in the description to the video. And in the meantime, as always, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with anybody who may be interested, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys soon. Take care.